Hey everyone, and welcome back to the vlog. Yes, it's been a few weeks. Had a few bit of a break from YouTube because I had so much things I had to do in my private life. I had my family over from the US. I've had a couple of events that I've had to attend as well, and have played quite a proactive part. So had to just take a bit of a break, and also just to reset as well, because been doing this now for a few years, and sometimes you just need to take a bit of a step back so that you can renew your energies, and that's pretty much what we have done. So dare I say, back on the caddy. The caddy has been the bane of my life for the last 6 or 7 months, and I know you guys have enjoyed it, and the comments have certainly reflected that you've had enough of vans. I get it, but I have to get rid of these vans in order to bring in new stuff. So the vans have to be fixed, and I can either do nothing, or you can share the pain with me and going through these journeys that I'm going through in order to get the vans done. So bit of an update. The combo, well, that's gone to the body shop to get that nasty dent at the side sorted out, and come back. Then I'm going to MOT that, and that'll be up for sale. And then now we've just got to finish off putting the caddy together, and then that will be for sale as well. So the last time I think we were here, we had a big old problem with the EGR valve. Today we're going to replace that EGR valve, and hopefully that will solve our problem. So let's crack on and see how we go with that. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. Yes, that is the engine from the caddy out of the vehicle. Let me explain. So the last time you saw this, the van was running and everything, and then I got this code that you can see up on screen right now. So did some investigation, tried to resolve it and fixed it, done some fettling, etc, etc. Just could not fix this. So I had to, it basically is the EGR valve, which is this component right here. That's a brand new EGR valve that we need to fit. Now you can and you should be able to do this with the van and the engine in situ, but I just could not get to all the parts that I need to get this off. So for example, you've got this bolt up here, you've got one down here, you've got this one here, and that's all hidden. Not to mention these two pipes here. And it's just a nightmare to try and fix. And so I resorted, after spending a few hours just getting one bolt out, I just thought this is ridiculous. So I took the whole thing apart, and we are where we are. This is where we are at the moment. So I'm stripping this one down, and while I was stripping it, I've also discovered that this EGR valve is different to the one that I've purchased. The one that I purchased has got a pipe coming down here and going this way. This one is blanked off and the pipe is coming out. That's a real pain. So I'm going to decide whether I'm going to either strip this one down and then kind of amalgamate it with that one, so we've got the pipe in there, and see if we can get the actual valve working, or whether I'm just going to get the pipe that come out here and just attach it to this. I need to do some research to see exactly which way I'm going to go. But in the meantime, I need to take the EGR valve off. Now I'm not going to show you me taking it out because it's just boring, but you'll see the EGR valve out once we've taken it off, the EGR valve out of the engine once we've taken it off. What I can tell you is that imagine trying to do this from underneath, where you've only got about that much space to work with, and you've got to feel your way through everything, and you've got to take all this pipe work off, all that pipe work off, literally all of this has to come off. VW, what were you thinking? It's probably one of the hardest EGR valves that I've ever done, and I've not done many, but this was definitely taking the biscuit. Alright, let me take it off camera, and then next time you'll see the EGR valve will be on my workbench. Alright, so here is basically our EGR valve. Tell you what, it was so much easier getting off once the engine was taken out. Now, this is the one that's come off the vehicle. As you can see, we've got this pipe down here. This one doesn't. This one has a pipe sticking out here, whereas that's blanked off here. That's because this is correct for a caddy, this EGR valve. this one is correct for an Audi A1, which is where this engine has originally come from. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the part number from that and order one of these rather than try and customize this. What I was going to do originally was take this apart, and then make up the good unit using these parts. But even though I think I could possibly do that, I'd rather get a new unit and then know it's done, because otherwise it's yeah, it's not going to be good. Plus I've just realized that this is not the genuine part. This is a genuine part. This is supposed to be genuine. It's not. How do I know? A, part number, VW logo, no logo. What do you get? So we're going to get the right part, and then we're going to fit the correct part, and then we will put the engine back in the van, and then that should clear the code.
3 weeks later.
Okay, it's been a few weeks. We now have the correct EGR, which is the same as the one we've just taken off. So we're going to go and fit that now. Just got to take one part off. That's this little bit here, and that's going to go onto here. There you go. That's now ready to fit. Let's go and get that on the van. EGR valve is in. It didn't take long to put it in, as you saw in the time lapse. I did break away to put some of the cables in over here, the pipe work and stuff, which is a little bit more tricky, but literally it's a 10-minute job when you got the engine in this situation. Whereas just to get that bolt out there, see that bolt there, it took me 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours and 90 minutes to take the engine out. So the recommended ways you can actually do this in situ: you take this pipe out the way, this pipe out the way, you unbolt 4 bolts over there, you unbolt this pipe here, and then this pipe here, and then the whole thing comes away. The realities are, it's a nightmare to do it that way, but it can be done. But anyway, it's in now. So now we just need to reverse this whole cycle and get the engine in. I'm not going to show you me doing that, because you've seen me doing that so many times before. You're just going to see the engine in situ, and then we're going to go for a little bit of a van engine start to make sure that everything is okay. So the next time you see this engine, it will be in the bay, all bolted in and ready to fire up, kind of. And there you have it, engine in. I'm not going to lie, it wasn't easy getting this engine in this time round. It was quite tough, but it was significantly easier than getting the EGR valve while you're lying on your back. So everything is wired up. We now need to just put the front on, fill her back up with some water, and then give it another start, and then hopefully we won't get any flashing lights on the dashboards, and the EGR is going to have been cleared. Otherwise all this would have been just for nothing, and I really will give up with this van then. Alright, let's get the front end onto this bad boy, and then let's get this thing started. Right, we got all the pipe work in now, so the lower hose, all the AC connections are all done, and on this side we've got the upper hose all done, and then the fan assembly connection done. So we just got to connect up the intercooler lower hose there and the intercooler hose, but we'll do that once we get the radiator bolted to the chassis. So let's do that right now. Alright, everything is now connected up. Radiator is now bolted into place, or the front slam panel is now bolted into place. And we've also, battery is in, air filter, mass airflow, everything is now in place. So I want to see if this van starts before we put the headlights on and the bumper on. Let's see if she's going to start. Okay, engine starts, that's all good news. Just want to check to make sure that there are no fuel leaks or anything. And at this stage, let's get a torch on here so we can see better. It's all looking good. It's all looking good. That's a little bit damp, but that's because it did have fuel in there when we took the fuel lines out. But other than that, we are all looking good. You heard it start up straight away. That was after a couple of primes. So yeah, all good. Happy with that. Right, let's get VCDS on here and see if we've cleared that code that we had with the old EGR valve. Right, so we've just done VCDS scan. The EGR valve has still got an error. Don't know if you can see that there, but it's complaining about the signal too high now. Now I'm not sure whether that is the valve that we fitted or something else, but I'm going to look into it and get that solved. But in the meantime, the van is running absolutely fine. It starts on the button, so when I start it up, it starts straight away. Just demonstrate that valve in. You can hear it and it runs. So, and the engine's running absolutely fine. Yes, we've still got that flashing light. The glow plug light means that there's an issue, and I don't think it's that. But again, I'm not worried about that, because we are just going to get this van sorted now and out the way, because we've been on it way too long, almost the entire summer. And so next week, first run. All right. So we're going to put the headlights in, get the front on, got a new grille to fit on, and then we're going to get this van out for or run, and then we'll get it through an MOT. Still got a couple of things to do on that, but the majority of it is done. Got to get that tyre fitted because that's threadbare. Okay, let's summarize what we've done today. All right, so not the result that we wanted. Still got an EGR fault, but I'm convinced it's not related to the new EGR valve that we fitted, that it's related to something else. So I'm going to investigate that and see what we come up with. But as you saw, the van runs absolutely fine, although I need to obviously get it down on the first drive to see if it is running in limp mode or anything. It shouldn't be, but you never know. That will be next week's video. So what happens when we get rid of the vans? Let's talk about that for a little bit, shall we? So I've decided which car I'm going to get. I'm going to come out and straight and tell you straight what I'm going to buy. I'm going to buy a Porsche Cayman. That's what I'm looking for. And then I'm going to convert it into a GT. So we'll buy, and that's the reason why I'm looking for a damaged one rather than a straight one, because apparently the Porsche aficionados, they don't like you messing with your Porsches, and it's frowned upon. And we're going to totally ignore that, because I want the car to look like the car that I want. So this is the toy, essentially. So we're looking for either a 981 or a 718, and then we're going to do that conversion. So preferably a damaged one. In fact, that's most likely the way we're going to go, and then we'll bring that on board. And hence the reason why I've been saving some money so we can go on that. So that is going to be my next project. Unfortunately, they don't come up. They do come up quite often in Copart, but they can. Sometimes you have to go for a lull before you see a few, and I've seen a few that have come and go, and I could have bought them, but I've just got no place to put them with all the vehicles here as well. So hence the reason why the vans must go. Alright, so now you're up to date. So hopefully you back in the swing of things. If you're new to this channel, you're seeing this for the first time, don't forget to click on the subscribe button. That helps us in terms of pushing content out to the YouTube world as we see it. And that's it. We'll see you next week. Have a good one, and we'll see you next Monday.